My goal tonight, this is the first of 3 lectures, as I think Thorarin pointed out. We hope you'll come back tomorrow and indeed the following night. The World Depression and the Dangers of the Obama Regime. Tonight, though, it's all about you. It's all about Iceland and your struggle against the international financier oligarchy. The British, the Dutch, the European Commission, the European Central Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and others. You are now under attack by those forces. You are, in effect, in a kind of a financial war. When Gordon Brown pulled out that anti-terror legislation to use against you, this is basically a declaration of war. This takes things out of the sphere of usual diplomatic negotiations. If you start calling a country terrorist, well, maybe the British are terrorists too. That seems to be what they're doing. The idea of a debt moratorium, of course, is the idea that you should stop paying international debt. Don't pay. It's an institution that, as you will see, has been around for a long time. I do have this. Anybody know? Tricher. Tricher. The word tricher in French means to cheat. Right? If you have a card up your sleeve, il triche. Il triche. Spielt falsch. Get the idea? This is Monsieur Trichet. He's a monetarist. Are you going to make him the Duke of Iceland, the new dictator of the country? It's out of the question. Oh, Barroso. Now this dubious Iberian politician from Portugal, we have to remember Portugal was under fascism for about 40 years, and I think we have the cultural damage. He wants to be re-elected. He wants to be reappointed to head the European Commission. Right? This is the face of Europe? 650 million people in Europe come down to this? It's not worthy. Certainly Europe deserves better than that. And of course, they're all concerned with political control, certainly. But the goal is always the interests of bankers, the bailouts, the derivatives, things like this. Now remember, whenever European populations have been asked to vote on the European Constitution of 2005 or the Lisbon Treaty of today, they say no. As you see here, this is your main left-wing French union, right? CGT. A no by the trade unions to a liberal, neoliberal, monetarist Europe. Good. Here's another one. Vote no for the Constitution. This was 2005. I was fortunate to be in France at that time. Yes to Europe, but not the Europe of the bosses. Okay? These are left-wingers. These may be right-wingers. They don't like it either. They don't like the European Constitution. This is a Republican no. French Republic. Probably a right-wing thing. So remember, when you're dealing with the fight of populists against elitists, you're going to find left-wing components and right-wing components joining on the populist side. You've got to learn to live with that. You've got to learn to like it. Here's the Dutch, right? They don't like it either. 27 ways to say no. That no doesn't really mean no. Because every time you say no, the European Commission comes back and says, try again, like Ireland. We'll see Ireland. The Dutch. Right? So here's the French result. This is 2005. No. And here's the Dutch. The Dutch, even less support for the European Constitution. Now they said, okay, in Brussels, the Eurogarchs and Eurocrats said, we can't do it that way, we'll do it as a treaty. We'll have the Lisbon Treaty. So here's Ireland, last year already, voted no. Ireland voted no already once. Here's Sinn Féin, right, with their own history, but in this case they say, no, get a better deal on Europe. No, don't be bullied. Lisbon vote. And here is a demonstration in Berlin. They don't like the Lisbon Treaty. It's a dictatorship and it's terrorism. Right? That's the idea here. So vote no. Irish friends, vote no. And that vote will be now on the 2nd of October, this coming week. Okay? If you know anybody in Ireland, send them a telegram, vote no. This is a group of friends of mine. This is the Volksinitiative. This is people like Jürgen Elsässer, the writer, and Christoph Hörstel, the Middle East expert. No to the European Union dictatorship, and they want a referendum, a plebiscite, right? That the people should vote on this, at least, right? So have a plebiscite on the Lisbon Treaty. This was a demonstration in Berlin about a month ago now, which drew a couple of thousand people. And here it is, right? They want a referendum against the European Union here in Berlin, Friedrichstraße, I think. Now, in the German election of yesterday, one of the parties that did well is the left-wing party, right? Die Linke, Venstre, I guess it would be, something like this. They gained about 3% on a significantly anti-European Union and anti-Afghan war program, right? Here's the left-wing party, no to the Lisbon Treaty. And they're also in favor of getting out of Afghanistan. The German Green Party in favor of all the wars. Amazing. Green Party, warmonger party. So what you need is an unlimited debt moratorium. It simply says, for 5 years, or for the duration of this world economic depression, no payments will be made.